This video is brought to you by Jab.se, the lead supplier of MMA gear in Scandinavia. BetSafe.com, Europe's only online betting site for MMA.
Okay. What's up, baby? This is Bert Watson, and you're watching MMA Net, because this is what we do and why we do it, baby, all night long. We rollin'! Yeah!
And with that introduction, we continue here. That extremely brilliant introduction, by the way. Here with Bert Watson at the Hilton Hotel. And tell us, Bert, how are you?
Man, I'm trying to make it. Just trying to get through this and enjoying this city and enjoying the atmosphere and what's going on right now, and just looking forward to Saturday night, man.
And you like it here in London?
I love it here in London. You know, I love it when we go outside of the country, you know, and we meet our new fans, and, you know, we introduce ourselves to new areas, and we see, you know, how enthusiastic it is and how much the sport has grown. That's a good thing, man.
Now, I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with your role in the UFC. If you can just describe a bit sort of what you do and, what your role is.
Well, I basically do everything and anything the fighters need to get a comfort level to get into the cage, because getting in that cage is hard work and a lot of work. And it takes a lot, you know, for a guy to mentally get prepared to do that. And all those little ancillary things like tickets and workout rooms and temperature of the rooms and where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and getting to the weigh-in and cutting weight and how they're going to cut weight and getting a sauna, all those little things that I think a fighter should not have on his head, but somebody to do that for them. That's what me and my guys do. We give them a comfort level that all they have to do is show up here, give their heart, and fight the way they're supposed to. And that's what we do.
Well, I think you've done a very good job of that, because I believe it was Rampage Jackson who spoke of, he's leaving the UFC now, and he said one of the things that he would miss is actually you. So it seems like you've obviously made an impression with the fighters. Is this something you agree on?
Well, you know, I love my job, and I love the fighters, and I respect these guys, and I respect what they do. And they're, you know, I'm a little older, not a lot older. I'm a little older than these guys, so they're like my children. And you take care of your children. You take care of them. You make sure they got what they need. And you make sure that if they go out there and somebody challenges them, they know what to do to get the job done. So, you know, it's all from here, man.
Well, it's obviously felt. Now, you've been behind the scenes on very many UFC shows. You've met most of the fighters, if not all of them. You've seen what's happened. Are there any interesting stories that or any interesting situations that you've encountered during your years?
Well, you know, it's funny because each one of these guys, you know, as a professional athlete, they have their own little idiosyncrasies and their own little quirks, and some of them are superstitious about certain things and want to be in a certain position in the locker room and want to put this sock on the light or at the right time. It's just different things like that, and there's so many of those stories and so many of those things. And just one that comes to mind, you know, I take these guys to the holding area. When I get them in the holding area, that's my time to get them ready, to pump them up, you know, to kind of fire these guys up to get into the cage. And usually what I do is to check to make sure that they have everything that they need. Mouthpiece, the gloves are good, you know, and the knee pads if they have them on. And I also go to check for a cup. Well, one time I went to check for this guy's cup, and I did this, to check for his cup, and he didn't have a cup on. I found that out after I hit him. I got a little worried, because then I figured, he didn't have 5 minutes to recover backstage because he had to get into the octagon. So that was the last time I ever checked for a guy's cup.
And was he angry at you?
No, he wasn't angry, but I was angry with myself for not thinking, you know. I didn't want to grab, so I had to hit. Was the wrong time to do that, but it worked out. And actually, he won that fight.
He did.
He won that fight.
Are you at liberty to say who it was?
You know, the best seat in the house is on the fence. I stay neutral, you know. I kind of keep all that in here and in here. You know, like I said to my kids, I don't want to show favoritism to any one of them. I just want them to know I love them, baby.
All right, well, we won't force it out of you.
Okay.
You said that some fighters are very superstitious. Are there any things in particular that some fighters are very superstitious on?
Guys are superstitious about where they're positioned in the locker room, who they're in the locker room with, you know, and I can understand that. You know, if a guy knows he's going to fight a guy 5 months from now, he may not want to be in the locker room with the corner people that are going to work with that guy, and then there are guys that have superstitions about what corner they're in and what corner they're not in, who wraps their hands, who works the cuts in their corners. And these are things that over the course of time I've gotten to know, and I know, so I try to make sure that that's done before it becomes an issue. Because I don't want anything to become an issue for these guys fight night. Nothing. Baby mama drama, homesick, whatever. I don't want none of those things to become an issue fight night, tickets or anything, because they become big issues when they shouldn't. So, I pay attention and listen to these guys and listen to the superstitions. And then there are some things that are just common sense, and the things that are just common sense, I do so it doesn't become an issue. If I know a guy's going to be uncomfortable because I know the relationship with certain people, you know what? I'm going to address that in the dressing room and put them differently so that it doesn't become an issue. Just certain common sense things also go along into that equation.
Now, we're obviously expecting you to partake on UFC Stockholm in April. You'll be there, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. I think it's April 6th.
Yeah.
And I understand it's, already tickets are going pretty good. And we had a great time there even though it snowed. It was in the snow.
You're
and
not
it
a fan
was
of snow?
I'm from Philadelphia, so it snows, it gets hot, it gets cold. I don't mind the snow, long as I don't have to work in the snow. But it snowed, But you know what? There are some places you go to that you expect to see snow. And when you go to Sweden, and you go up in the Alps or places like that, you kind of expect to see snow. So it's like in the States having Christmas without snow. It's not Christmas. You got to have snow. So I'm looking forward to going back there, baby.
And what did you think of the first time of the crowd and the atmosphere?
It was unbelievable. And it being our first time, to see the reaction of the fans, the enthusiasm, and how much they knew about MMA and all the fighters, that still gives me goosebumps when I see how knowledgeable MMA fans are and how knowledgeable they're becoming and how acceptable they're becoming to all of them. Everybody at this level is a star. Everybody in the UFC has fans, and it is unbelievable, man.
And now you're returning. Last time you were there was Alexander Gustafsson, the main event. He'll have the main event again against Gegard Mousasi. As a fight fan, who do you have picked as a winner in that fight?
We're going back to that best seat in the house again. That best seat in the house is on the fence.
Okay.
And I'll honestly say this to you. I've learned, aside from the judges, there's 6 ways to win a fight in this sport. When you got those many ways to win a fight, it's hard to pick a winner. There are 5 or 6 different moves or holds or different ways a guy could get caught with 30 seconds left in the fight. When you have those many odds, it's hard for me to legitimately pick a winner. And one thing about the UFC that I know, and I'm taking it from my boxing experiences, everybody in here has to fight. They don't pad a guy's record. They don't pad the guy that he's fighting. You win a fight, you got to fight the next fight. So, with those many odds and knowing that everybody is equal, it's hard to really, really pick a winner. We saw that with Chael and Anderson, 30 seconds or whatever it was left, The difference was a matter of seconds, so it's hard to pick.
All right, well, we won't ask for a prediction, but we can put it this way, perhaps. What do we say the both respective fighters are strongest at? What are their just biggest advantages in the fight?
Well, anytime you have a guy fighting in his hometown, there's going to be an extra bit of energy that he's going to feed off of. There's going to be also an extra bit of pressure that's put on him to perform at a higher level. So it goes both ways. And then when you have his opponent has those same things working. He has to fight a hometown guy, but at the same time, you know what? He knows he has to get the job done. So that was a political way of answering that question.
Very political.
I got on that fence again.
That was very good. You actually managed to avoid it and go into something. You consider career in politics?
No. No, you know what? Right now,
your soul too much?
I love what I do. I would not do anything different. And if I was in politics, they'd probably chase me out because I'd end up cursing somebody out real quick. And my career would be over.
You're probably one of the favorite politicians amongst the people in that case.
Well, you know, if you love what you do and you work at it, it'll work for you, baby.
Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on. We're looking forward to UFC on Fuel 7 Saturday here at Wembley. And Burt Watson, thanks a lot.
My pleasure. All night long, baby. This is what we do and why we do it.
Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.